In this next video we're going to take a look at how we use a data grid to display our data. I'll just bring up the other example so we can take a look at that. So if we just run this through, what we're looking at making here is the following. So we've got the view products, that when we press this button we should get a grid with the data that we can go ahead and filter or clear filter. So we're going to try and make this next. So let's just get rid of that out of the way for the moment and stop that running and go back over to our other project. So the first thing to do, I'm going to open my original form, the one that came with the application. I'm just going to put another button on there so that I can run my next form. So let's just bring everything back up here. Right, okay. So I'm just going to pop another button on there, and we're going to, just in the properties here, I'm just going to change the text to view products, and on the on click that's going to open up hopefully a new form. So what we'll do next is go to the Solution Explorer over on the right hand side. I'm just going to right click, go add, and again I know this is off the screen but just choose Windows Form, and the next one is going to be view products. Okay, so we give it a name, check we've got Windows Form, and press add there. Okay, so a few bits again of customization. We're just going to go into the properties, just going to change the text to view products to get the space back in there. Again, you can give that an icon. Just going to put my coffee mug icon into there. So nice and straightforward, so nothing new there so far. Next job, I'm just going to make this form a little bit wider here, and I'm going to go and have a look down at the bottom here for the data component, and you can see you've got a data grid view. And I'm just going to pop that in there to start off with. Okay, it'll bring up an option here to say choose data source. We don't really want to do that just at the moment, so I'm just going to close that down, and we're just going to leave that there for the time being, and we're going to go in and put some code into that. So again, either right click view code or just press F7 to take you into the code view. Okay, so once we're in here, what we're hopefully going to do now is just bind our data grid view to our coffee shop entity. So again, what I'm going to do just up at the top here, I'm just going to make another private class here, and we're going to call it coffee shop database entities. Again, that's what was created in the first set of tutorials. I'm just going to give that the instance name CSE and new coffee shop database entities. So we've got there an instance of our class coffee shop data entities. So that's created. Now we've got the constructor here, so we've got the initialized component, so that will do all the setting up for us. And what I want to do here is I'm actually going to bind coffee shop entity to the data grid view. All we need to do, get my instance name of my data grid view, dot, and we're looking for the data source. So there's a data source, and we're just going to set that to CSE dot, and I want to bind that to the table products, and that will basically get the data bound. Now we're going to need to do a little bit of work with this, but in the first instance that will actually give us a data grid view of the data. So let's save that up, and let's go back to our original form, and what we're going to do is we're just going to put in a click event here by just clicking and, well, two options really. You can either double click, or you could go properties, events here, and you could put your own sort of name in, so we could say open products and press return, and you can see it's the same as double clicking there. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to open up the new view products. So view products, we'll call that view products again, equals new view products. Again, we're just going to make an instance there of our class view products, which is our form. So of course we just need to show that so that we can see it, and hopefully we'll just save everything up. Might have a couple of bugs, but let's just run that and find out. Okay, that seemed to run without bugs. So here we go to view products, and up opens our data grid, and you can see there, yeah, it's definitely got the correct column headings along the top there. However, there's no data in there just at the moment, and that's because there isn't any in our database. So if we want to put some data in, I can just close that down. I'll go to add product, let's put some data in, so chips, £1.99, into the food category, upload, and we can go and find something in there. So there's my chips picture, and we'll just press save. We've got a little dialog that says record saved, so OK. Close that down, and let's go and take a look in view products, and sure enough you can see now that that's been added to the database, and there it is. There are some columns that perhaps I don't want. Also I might want to just change the layout slightly. We'll take a look at how we do that. You'll notice though that it already comes with the ability to resize straight out the box, so I can change the heights and widths and everything like that. So, you know, fairly feature rich just as it is. So we'll stop that running, and we'll go back into our view product design. So back here we are. So there's a few things you can do here. First thing I'm going to look at, if I go to view code, is we're going to look at actually making some of the columns invisible. So again, all we do is we get the instance data grid view, and if you want to specify a column to get rid of, we just put columns, and we can specify the index. I just made a mistake there, so let's just put that back. So columns, and it'll ask for the index. So what I want to do, I'm going to hide the product type, as I'm not interested in that. And if you're not sure where I'm getting these names from, they match the names in the database. I'll go and show you those again in a moment. But product type dot visible equals false. Oops. There we go. And that will basically make that column invisible. Now, might have I spelt it right. There we go. Okay. So if you're wondering where I got that from, again, if I just nip into Server Explorer over here, again, open up the product, and you can see here that basically the entity relationship mapped them across here, and product type is referred to there. So I also want to get rid of a couple of other things. I'm going to get rid of, if I just paste that underneath, I'm going to get rid of the actual table, which in my case is TBL product type. I don't want to see that. And I'm also going to get rid of TBL, and we're going to get rid of the transaction items, and because I don't want those columns visible, so there we go, put those in. Again, just check that they are all working. Press the play button, have a look in your view products. There we go, and we've got much neater now. We've got product ID, description, price and image. Again, might be nice if that filled the box so that when I resize, it auto resizes, but it's quite simple to do that. I'll leave you to have a quick look at that later on. The only other thing that I might want to do with this is add some sort of filtering, and again, because we've actually bound here to the coffee shop entity, what we can do is just really filter it in quite a simple way, and we'll take a look at that in the next video. I'm just going to tidy up a little bit of the stuff on the form, so we're just going to go into the properties, and we can see that we've got various things. We can auto size the rows, we can auto size the columns. So if I do that, let's go all cells and auto size the columns to all cells. That's going to make it a little bit bigger, a little bit better and fit on. Let's just have a look at the result of that. So you can see now when we view the products that hopefully everything's shrunk to fit. Again, we haven't got a product in there at the moment, so we'd need to go and pop one in. Let's just quickly do that. Incidentally, if you're wondering why I'm having to add this each time, the database we're working on here is actually local to the project when it's in debug mode, so you'll have to add the data. I will show you later on how you can sort of cheat a little bit and make it always remember the data, but for this instance we'll just save that in, go and take a look, and you can see there that's much better. The columns have resized to the picture, so everything's fit in quite nicely there. So that concludes how you bind your data to the data grid view. In the next video we'll take a look at how we actually filter that data so that the data grid view can change.